Hello, everybody. I'm back. And I gotta tell you something though. Do you remember last time when I said that I wasn't gonna do a big refactor all over again? Well, guess what? I was not being serious because now I do have what I believe is the ultimate refactor. All right. So as you can see now, or if you check on the repository, we got a source number 2 folder which includes all these new updates. And as you can see, I um I went ahead and flat I've flattened the entire folder because I was not I didn't like the previous approach, right? Where you have to click all over again, like game, include, like what the fuck is this? So I went ahead and flattened the entire thing out, and now we got just one include folder, and the rest is here. Now, what's the status of the um? What I want to tackle now is the decrypt of the packet. So let's go ahead and build this thing out. All right. Why did it take so long? All right. All right. Never mind. Login server dot bat. There we go. So now what I want to do today, at least, is making sure that the username and the password of the user gets to be printed correctly, right? As you can see here, we clearly have a problem, and as usual, I don't know what it is. So I have to go ahead and investigate. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and try to tackle this out. So if we go to the request, no, this is not it. Login server. There we go. The packet that contains the username and the login is the auth login. And what am I doing wrong here? Now this is gonna be a lot of try and error, so bear with me. Okay, so we're copying the username and the password, and then we're printing that out. And by the way, this is just a macro for uh, printf and then a new line, and that's it. Um, all right, let's see what are we doing. We got the packet from here, we read it, and then we try to decrypt here. All right, so what am I doing wrong here? Blowfish decrypt, and then decrypt here. Mm-hmm. I might have to read more about Blowfish. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I know it works in chunks of uh, eights, but yeah, might be a good idea to dig into the documentation or even write my own code here so that I can replace OpenSSL as a dependency. Okay, so we're going through the packet, and shouldn't I ignore the size header? Let's go ahead and see if that works. Probably not. Okay. Yeah, no. Alright. Let's go ahead and read about. Alright, let's see. Oh, what am I doing? I got the previous code in the source file. What? Okay. Login server session. Let's see if what am I doing different in the decrypt function? Can I split this thing out? Yes, I can. What the fuck? Um, I'm not sure what's the purpose of that feature, but okay. Alright, decrypt. Source and source. These two are the same file. There we go. Decrypt. Let's see. Session decrypt. Checking for the size. That's okay. I don't care for that now. Blowfish decrypt. And then, okay, so this is pretty much the same. What about the blowfish decrypt? Packet size, packet size. Blowfish decrypt. Okay. So what I'm doing here is making the size a multiple of 8 because as far as I can tell based on the documentation from the internet, the packets in the Lineage 2 are or must be multiples of 8. The thing is, since the packet comes from the client itself and we're not dealing with um, weird packets, we're dealing with correct packets, quote unquote, we shouldn't need to do this, but let's go ahead and try that out. Maybe I'm wrong. So let's go ahead and use the padded size. And inside of this function, we're doing the same thing, right? But just to be sure, let's go ahead and inspect that. Padded size. All right. Yes, we make that a multiple of 8, and then we're back. All right. Okay. Let's see if that does the trick. All right. No, it didn't. Although, why am I getting this? assertion. Packet C64. The size. So what's the size then? Size is what am I getting as a size? 0. Why though? Why am I getting 0? So we're getting the request and we call this function. We make sure that we're not reading past the buffer. Alright, so we append whatever we got, we append it to the end of the buffer. We increase the tail or the count, and then I think I'm not. Am I not? I think I'm not resetting the variable right here. Okay, let's go ahead and try again. All right, login. Oh, well, you look at that. We found the error. Okay. Well, I have second thoughts about this approach. So what am I doing here? Um, let's go ahead and close everything but this. When we open up the connection or the socket or the server, right? We are here. There we go. So, how are we dealing with sockets? If you don't know, sockets um, depend on the implementation of the operating system, right? So, sockets in Linux may behave different or may be implemented different than Windows does, right? I don't know why I'm mentioning that, but yeah, let's go ahead and run with it. So in this case, we're dealing with Linux sockets, and I'm being very specific about it in the name or the prefix of the file. So in Linux, we can read chunks of bytes from the request. So when we open up Lineage and try to log in, we send a request to the socket, and then we try to read the entire packet um, by reading multiple chunks. Okay, we don't read the entire response in one single call, but instead we try to read the entire thing in chunks. Okay, so then here, so actually let's go ahead and follow up the code. We open up the socket in here, and then we'll listen for connections or events, such as getting a new connection or getting a new request. When that happens, this function will get executed. And in this function, we check what type of event are we getting? Are we getting a new connection? Okay, we accept it. Are we getting, I don't know, whatever, close, or are we getting a new chunk of the packet? Okay, and this is what I was going through the explanation. The explanation. So when we get a chunk of request, we send that chunk to the server or to this function, right? And this is where, sorry, and this is where we um, lose the concept of sockets because that's a concept that applies to the platform, but we don't care about that in the actual server, right? So in here, we're not dealing with sockets per se, we're dealing with buffers. And that's what we're doing. We're saying, okay, we're getting a chunk of the request, so let's go ahead and read that out into this buffer, okay? And then we have to check if the packet, if we got the entire packet, right? And how do we do that? Well, the first 2 bytes from each packet in Lineage will tell us the entire size of the packet. So if that size doesn't match with the amount of bytes that we have read, then we know that we're dealing with a partial request, right? We don't have the entire packet. But if okay, so the headset just turned off because I don't have any sound, even though I'm using the microphone. So annoying. So what I was saying was, if we read the entire thing, if we don't have the entire thing, we just return and we wait for more chunks. But if we do have everything, yes, we can now deal with the packet, but then we have to remember to reset those counters, those yeah, counters. And that's error prone, right? As you should, as you just saw, I was getting a wrong decrypt because I was not setting this back to 0. And I was getting, so before recording, I was getting another issue because I was forgetting to reset the request, meaning the buffer that I'm using to read the request. So yeah, um, what I was trying to get at is that even though this approach is cool because we're not dealing with sockets in this part of the application, it's quite annoying to, I mean, it's error prone, right? So, and this is not the first time that I'm getting these errors. Like, I don't know if it's me just being like brain dead or I don't know. But yeah, I have faced this error multiple times. Anyways, though, I managed to complete this, which is what I was wanted to accomplish on this video. So I don't know, uh, you know what? Maybe we can try what happens if where was I? Decrypt, encrypt, decrypt. There we go. So in theory, I shouldn't need this, right? I could just go ahead and do that, and this should keep working. So I wanna try that out, and then I'll finish for now. Let's see. Yeah, it works. All right. Um, even though it works, I'm gonna go ahead and stick to this because we don't know um, that like what if we get an incorrect packet, not from the client, but from somebody trying to cheat? What if it's not a multiple of 8s? So let's go ahead and stick that just for safety. Thank you. All right. So I guess that's it. Let's go ahead and comment this out. What do we got? Login server. You know what? Let's go ahead and use merge. All right. What a disgusting human being. He's using a GUI for Git. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Stage. Uh, that. What is this? What is this? Oh. All right. There we go. And we don't need this, so let's go ahead and discard. And I think this is it. All right. Finally fixed packet decrypt in login server. There we go. Push. All right, guys. I don't know how long I've been recording, but I think this is it for now. And hopefully I'll create a new video shortly. Take good care.